Hello there and happy Sunday. And guess who's here? Just like clockwork, I turn on the camera and world say hello to Winky. She's been a spoiled little baby all day, chicken and all kinds of fun, playing on the new cat climber, which I'll show here in a second on the video. But got a lot of stuff done this weekend. Had to make it a little fancy trip out to Sherman for a trip out to Sam's Club to the hearing aid place for Sherry yesterday, but that was all right. I mean, break stuff, we got to go get stuff fixed. So that was actually a kind of a fun day. Went and did a little pawn shop hunting and running around Texas a little bit. So that was kind of a nice little break from things, a road trip. And now we're back at home in the shop, and I got a few things to show you. So I've got a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe that I said last week that I was going to get into. I've got that opened up, and I've got a little Gibson amplifier that I'm going to show everybody that's kind of cool. I believe it's a 1960, it may be a 59, but it's a GA18 Gibson Explorer amp, which was kind of Gibson's answer to the Fender Princeton or the Fender Deluxe. So it belongs to a customer here in Ardmore. He got a hold of it and wants me to restore it for him. So that'll be an interesting little project. So let me say hello to Winky here, and I'll get on the camera here and flip it around and show you a couple things. And she's complaining because she doesn't want to go down. So, all right, so here we are. I was going to show you this real quick. I'll turn this light back on so it's nice and bright, just like glass. So this is Cindy Lou's guitar. I had to take it back apart. This is the one that I'm building for her custom. And I had to take it back apart because I was having some issues with the finish and a couple other little doodads, electronics and stuff. And I went to respray it, and don't respray polyurethane when we're having a cold snap, because it doesn't like it. So anyway, got that done. So this will be going back together soon. There's the electronics are going in it. So I'll get that done real quick. But now it's nice and pretty again, and it should be completed quickly. So what I got going on over here, here's first of all the Hot Rod Deluxe that I was talking about, and I'll bring this out a little bit so we can see. This thing came to me where it says, and Winky wants all the attention here. This thing came to me where it says no or low sound, and it does make sound, but it makes very quiet sound and is kind of muffled. And that can be indicative of a bad tube, which I'm going to test, obviously. I haven't got there yet. But opening it up, I can see a couple of things. That the Fender amps are, the Hot Rod series amps are notorious for overheating. They're known for overheating. And if you look right there, these two resistors, notice the brown all around there? That has been overheated. And those cook, they fail, and then that little diode right there next to it, and these two capacitors are part of that circuit. Those are part of the circuit that creates the 5-volt switching to run the channel switching in the amp and to run the reverb on and off and stuff like that. And when that circuit fails, you lose the switching through that stuff right there. And well, not the lower half, that's the power circuit, but up in this area here. So you lose that, and when you lose that switching, then you can actually get it stuck where it's not quite switched, and it'll have basically half the channel on. It'll act like the channel's not quite getting there. So anyway, I got to dig into that and find out. I had to check these resistors and check that diode and find out what's the deal with that. And that's the bias pot there, and it may be off a bit too. So when I'm done with it, it will definitely be off. So anyway, that's one little project. So let me come up here to the top of the bench and show you guys this one, which is very, very cool. And that is the Gibson. And if you look in here, see that nice bubbly looking capacitor? That's one of the filter caps for the power, and it is toast. And then that capacitor, you can see a nice crack going right down the middle of it. These old paper caps from the 1950s, they don't last. They're older than me, and they probably lasted better than me. But I'm not dead, and they are. So those two will need to be replaced. Probably that one there also. And then I'll have to spec out all these resistors and so on and so forth. And everything out on the other end of the amp seems to be in fairly good condition. I'll have to get the one of the power tubes and the rectifier tubes missing, so I'm gonna have to dig that up and all that fun stuff. And also, I'm gonna have to get into, if you look, the power cord is a 2-prong type power cord, which has the filter caps to prevent, from shocking yourself and all that. So I'm going to have to dig into that and make sure all that's good and safe and correct and all that fun stuff. So this will be an interesting project, but for the most part, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. And it looks like it's just been sitting around for a while, but there it is right there, Gibson GA18. And it is an original one. It's not any kind of an issue or anything, reissue or anything like that. But from what I could tell, it's most likely 1960, probably 1959 if it's any older. But has the old epoxy handle, all that kind of stuff. So very cool amplifier. I'll spin it around a little bit so you can see the front. But just a very, very cool amp. They didn't make them for very long. Not extremely pricey like an old Fender would be. The old Fender of this age would be $5,000, and this one's probably $1,800, but still pretty neat, and they sound really cool when they're working right. So very, very cool setup. So there you go. I'm going to have a couple of videos on this Gibson when I dig into it and show you what I find in it, what kind of stuff's going on, and then obviously when it's playing. And like I said, I've been slowly getting back on track with getting stuff done. I've had this amp since Thanksgiving, and I've talked to the owner and said, hey, you know what? It's been hectic and crazy and a lot of things going on. The Fender down there, I've had it for probably a month maybe. And I've got stacks of stuff in the other room that belong to Brant and a few other people that I've got lined up to go and get them done. I've got 4 of Denny's guitars in there to get done. So I've got piles of stuff, but I'm slowly getting on track to getting them completed. It's rough, and you can only do so much. You're by yourself in the shop, and schedule's tight and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing what I can, getting there, but we're making progress and we're going in the right direction. So that's a good thing. So glad to be into the new year, and looking forward to a great year, getting a lot of things done, making some really good progress. I'm hoping some good things will be in work very, very soon to expand the shop and really make this thing explode. And if that happens, it's just going to be a big old party. So I'm hoping that happens very soon. So anyway, also I wanted to tell everybody, I'll just spin this down here real quick. This down here underneath my computer desk, you can see the Focusrite, and you see that Bose speaker on top of there, and the Bose speaker down there on the floor. Well, that is a Bose Acoustimass 321 home video, movie playing kind of thing from about 18 years ago. Denny gave me that, and he said, hey, this thing works. I've had it sitting around. I don't have any use for it, and if you can use it. I said, well, I'll find a use for it. So it's too old to hook to the TV because it uses RCA inputs, and it's just way old, but it works perfectly. So I needed a system for my Focusrite multi-track recording system to have a separate designated monitor just for that. And I plug that thing in, and it just sounds great. So it's now the studio reference monitors. So got the old Bose 321 system running as studio reference monitor. So it actually really, really works well for that. So Denny, thank you for that, and I appreciate that. And I'm going to get off of here and bid you guys a happy Sunday and a great work week coming up. Have a good week and be safe. I hope that we're not frozen this week and we start to get back to some reasonably sensible kind of weather. And I hope things improve all around. The world's looking like it might be heading in a good direction. So we'll keep prayers and hope for that and wish for the best. And I will be on here with some more videos and share with you guys the progress I make on these amps and some more little doodads I do along the way. So until then, God bless, and we'll see you. Bye.